is it that makes vintage guitars so special?
They're old. I'm kidding.
Okay.
You know, it's amazing because you get asked that a lot, especially from, I've bought guitars for friends of mine's kids who want to learn how to play, for my grandkids. And kids want something new. So I would have to then kind of wrestle with the question, well, what's the difference in the value between, and why is it connotated the way it is, between a brand new guitar and a guitar that has had age? There's some physical reasons, certainly with acoustic guitars and certainly Les Pauls. Over time, the wood gets drier and it vibrates differently. And so that 1943 Martin that I picked up when I walked in had an incredible sustain. And that's just because, almost 80 years of water has slowly evaporated through it. The varnish is not as thick on the guitar, so it has a different tone. And Gibson, by the way, is making some incredible new guitars. Their Hummingbirds and Doves are fantastic, but they look new. That's an issue. There's something about a guitar that looks lived in. It's hard to explain, but it's a partnership, between the instrument and the player. And I think a lot of players would like their instrument to look on the outside as worn out as they might feel on the inside. And so there's something very comforting when you look down and see a couple gashes here. And I got a 1959 Strat off of Norm that had the whole front chunked out. And I was like, what the hell happened here? And he just looked at me and he went, funk. And it was a funk player. And he was like, and he just cut that whole piece off that guitar. Daniel Lanois wanted that guitar off of me for that reason. So it's a style thing as well as a tonal thing. And you can't get any more of them. There were only so many guitars made in 1959. There were only so many guitars made in 1967. And I would have to say, certainly if you're going into the late 50s, early 60s, let's just pretend half of those are gone. Well, they become valuable. They just become timepieces as well. So on all three levels, tonal, just the attractive quality of a lived-in looking instrument, and the fact that there might be only 200 left in the world, make vintage guitars very special.
Is there a guitar that you own that you consider the one?
Yeah, I got it at the old store. It's a single A Martin, and it's 1943. It's small. It's not a pocket guitar, but it feels like it. It's just so handy. I can carry it on a flight with me with no problem. Perfect. It's the only guitar on my bus that has its own structure so that it just hangs on the wall. That's safe when we're driving around, because I'll grab it. It's the one I write to. It's the one when I'm working on a film that will always be by my side. Yeah, and I got that from Norm too. And it's and again, that guitar specifically, the wood is so dry on that even for a small guitar, it's easier for it to be brighter, but it's boomier than a 67 Dove that I have. And it's just a perfect example of the aging process really actually being effective, which is why I won't leave it in a case for any real long period of time, because I want it to keep drying out.